interesting to see the funny reverse fades. Or in this case, reverse secondaries. You're gonna start this game 1.
Oh god.
And on fourth floor, and immediately the lack of brain cells is showing. Down strong is all Orcane knows. Frame 7, it's very silly.
Alright, I'm gonna start counting these down strongs now. We're on like, 4.
Okay, I was gonna say we're on 4 right now.
I mean, hey, it's Orcane. It's arguably one of his best moves. Why not abuse it?
Exactly. This is gonna be rough for elkies because versus Clairen, she has a great way of shutting down puddles. Put the no fun zone. Even then, just the longer disjoint can prove useful. But if Orcane does manage to get in Clairen's space, he just has no data versus the cat. And a funny down strong is gonna secure that first stock.
Ooh, Elkie's not quite finding the up there, but
5. Both down strongs are going to be securing that first stock for both players.
When in doubt, down strong.
So true. Well, these backers are going to be connecting on the second stock here.
Six.
See, good amount of bubbles. Darai is doing a great job of juggling elkies around the stage. I mean, these bubbles are proving tricky.
Elkie's in a very rough spot, has the burn air dodge here. Still a double jump. Gonna make it back on. 7. What a goofy little character.
Exactly. Oh. Sometimes we just need a little bit of goofiness in our life. Darai was clearly laughing too much there as he forgot to recover.
Yeah. Elkie's gonna be taking game 1 here. And this is an interesting counter pick coming out from Darai. So we are going to be going to Julesville for game 2, and I say this because I say it a lot, but Julesville is a very pseudo-abyss stage, and if that moving plat is not where Clairen needs it, it'll screw over hard. Alternatively, for Orcane, it's... Actually, I think this is probably a decent Orcane stage.
I can see it both ways. I don't know too much about Orcane. However, I do see a lot of Clairens going here when the option comes up. Like if Forest or one of the triplats or Merchant demand, Clarence can choose to go to the stage. Orcane, I don't see it as much. I think there's just better options available for him.
Yeah, like, I know Abyss probably is a better option, speaking of pseudo-Abyss, for Orcane. 8.
Gets the parry and the side special off of it. Darai moving much more confidently in this game. Thing is, right now, he can just kind of afford to play around that platform. If he so chooses, but right now, doing a great job of keeping elkies in this bit of a string. Almost had a 9 there.
Yep, there's the 9 one. Elkie's finally on the board here, but taking that first stock.
We're getting to see some of the situations where Orcane just excels in the tech chase and the edge guard. Can be just so oppressive just because of how simple and effective bubbles are.
Indeed.
Also down tilt.
Elkies with no resources does manage to get back up. Wait. Interesting, but okay.
Elkies was probably expecting a higher recovery. And Darai trying to challenge her up there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out and did lead to her losing that second stock.
First no fun zone of the set so far.
And
10.
yeah, it is anyone's game. Oh, he's doing a good job on the tech chase, however, Darai's DI. He's good enough to make it out.
Ooh,
They're
interesting
both
use of
trying
bubbles to catch that nair that Darai's going for. See, there's more use for bubbles than aside from edge guarding. Oh no.
Darai drifting back a little too far, not recovering. Don't let elkies be up 2-0 right now. One away from taking this set. We are going to have a character switch to a very good matchup for Darai. Maybe Raster is going to be coming out.
I'm trying to think. Have I seen Darai's Raster before? I feel like I have, but at the same time I haven't. Either way, we're going back to forest floor.
Definitely a much better character for the particular matchup because you can't get as out frame dated as hard as Raster and Clairen.
Indeed. However, you are going to be dying a lot more earlier. Forest floor being another one of those pretty volatile stages.
And that low ceiling, especially with a character like Orcane, who has that up air and that up strong, can be very hard.
Ooh, good drift, and Elki's gonna take that first stock.
Great awareness from that nair into the raw bear.
He's looking for it. Yeah, I saw it coming.
He tried to find it, unfortunately, he wasn't quite able. Never mind. Yeah, but with the slipstream out, I'm gonna prove beneficial forward to. Oh. Never mind.
That was very close to being Mike's DI. Darai's still living.
He's even got the blue skin on right now.
Shoutouts to Mike. We miss him.
He's trying to just go for the raw KO option. 11. Does find it with the down strong. Unfortunately, his reads have not been the best in this game right now. And as Raster, being able to read your opponent's DI is of the utmost importance.
Oh yeah, definitely. Elkies, not quite going to be able to cheese Darai stock there.
Not quite. Just a little too late for the clap there. But that could have been it, that could have been it.
Almost, with Darai still living. Trying to hold on to this stock. Potentially get on the board here.
The backer not connecting, that would have been so beneficial for elkies there.
They're gonna intercept that side beat. Elki's looking. She doesn't have puddle on stage.
She doesn't have puddle and she wasn't able to drift forward enough. Letting Darai finally get one on the board. Very, very silly endings to all of these games so far. Nobody's willing to commit to the last kill, and the other player just ends up self-destructing. And we've got a character swap for both players this time. Darai with the Zetterburn and elkies with the Raster.
Alright, Darai Zetter being a more common secondary used to seeing. I don't think I've ever seen Elki's Raster before.
Neither have I.
But this is definitely an Elki's counter pick.
On the Abyss. It's like one of the weaknesses of Raster is while he does have one of the best advantage states in the game, his weight, you can just let him die it. Especially versus Edinburgh. So some of the characters that have a decent chance against Raster are the characters with just those great kill burst options. Zetter is definitely one of those.
Indeed.
We're gonna see the clap. Darai doing a good job of holding on the resources. And is able to recover.
Elkies is that basically what is happening here? They're just chucking fares at each other.
And you gotta find your way in. And just bat at each other with your fares. Whoever commits first gets hit.
They're both pretty good fares, I will give it that.
Exactly. Right. I got confused by the characters. Swap. Elki's doing a great job of chasing Darai around the stage right now. Unfortunately, reversal ledge. Janelle Elkies is on fire and at kill percent. Darai has just got to find the option.
This Raster living way over its expiration date. There we go.
Finally tossing away the expired chicken. Don't eat expired meats. You'll get sick. Not pairing the slipstream gonna give Elkies a great opportunity to have that increased mobility. Unfortunately for Elkies, it's not very long though.
Yeah, this is just a rough spot here for Elkies. No platforms, meaning Darai could just sit there and F-tilt her.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Darai, he dropped the edge guard. This is suddenly a lot more doable for Elkies now. Sick and scary. But the Gatling combo is gonna let Darai take this on the verge of reverse 3-0 Elkies right now.
Indeed. In a rather, not even rather, in a very silly set. There we go. There, now we got some familiar characters.
Once again, most players deciding to make it a bit more tricky for the poor production, constantly swapping characters. We're going to be going into Game 5. These Elkies with the Crag, essentially her online main, with and Darai finally going in Rano. Now, if there's something I know about this matchup is it's not fun.
Oh, I can tell.
Pain. Rano versus Heavy. He's advantage state is just so good. He can just blow you off of any straight hit. Those falling up airs that Rano's often go for are particularly nasty versus heavyweights. Crag no exception, obviously.
Indeed, indeed. But also sometimes the heavies end up playing bullet hell off stage if the round is just chucking needles, trying to stuff out your resources.
Yeah, Crag especially being vulnerable from the top when he's recovering, because he doesn't have a way to cover himself with Pillar off stage unless you throw Rock up for whatever reason. But even then, Rock isn't going to be stuffing out needles. Crag's recovery versus Rano in particular can be especially painful. And also, Rano has a lot of tools to break rocks. Nair is great at breaking rocks, and I don't like that, but it's necessary. Good parry from Elkies. He's winning the war of attrition on that first stock, but unfortunately getting called out with that back air.
Yeah, both these two know that this one's for all the marbles. They're certainly played like it.
Yeah. Elkies doing her best to try and find a way in using Using Rock and Crag's other tools, but still, can be very hard to find a way in on Rana with just his superior frame data and hitboxes.
Elkies stuck without pillar or resources.
Darai just has to keep managing to get these little hits. Unfortunately, not able to connect with the Dacus. Elkie does finally have resources again. Good for her.
Yeah, still holding on to this stock. Might reach 200% again, who knows?
Very possible, especially with the poison deck. Never mind, 4% short. They're doing a good job of getting the bubble in position.
Good awareness by Elkies. She knows that Darai is going to be looking for that invincible ledge dash, so she's just waiting.
Right, getting this string going quick, near 60% on Elkie already. Last stock, both players. It's definitely doable for Crag. He has that great burst damage. And if he's able to get things set up, but Rano is great at stuffing out Crag's setup attempts. We're just seeing these aerials.
Elkies has no pillar.
Dude.
Okay, she sneaks back on.
Great recovery from Elkies. We are approaching Dacus range. Don't even need a Dacus, just need to wait. You need to read your opponent's DI. Good awareness from Darai as he moves on to Winners Finals. Versus Code.
That was a pretty fun set. We got